Visited the Browns and his son Shedeur Sanders at training camp yesterday. Shedeur took all of the first-team reps one day after Deshaun Watson took all the first-team reps. Deion also visited first-year head coach Todd Monken, and here was Monken on how it all went down.
It was really cool. I mean, that was a Deion Sanders. You kidding me? Forget that it's Shedeur's dad. I mean, first of all, he did an unbelievable job with Shedeur, a great kid, and obviously an elite football player, hell baseball player, and then as a coach, I mean, wow, everything that he's achieved, that was awesome.
Something or nothing that Deion visited the Browns.
Something that's cool as hell. Like, for one, I think to what Todd Monken is saying, like, this Deion Sanders. This is a Hall of Fame NFL player that is at training camp that we're getting a chance to talk to for Todd Monken. And I would have told my entire secondary to walk over there and meet Deion Sanders and ask him any question you possibly can about playing the defensive back position. On the other side is really cool because this is a father who's at training camp practice watching his son that I can imagine since Shedeur was yay high, he's had the dream of following his dad's footsteps to make it to the NFL and become a starter in the league. He got a chance to go witness his son playing and practicing with the starters in practice and talk to him after. I think so much we look at like Deion and what he brings to the table and is this good or is this bad? He's talking to Todd Monken. He's watching his son practice in the NFL. There is nothing cooler than that. He's not going to be able to influence whether Shedeur Sanders is the starter. I don't think Todd Monken is going to pencil him in for the fact that, Deion came to practice, so now I'm going to start his son. I just think it was a really cool experience, especially for the guys in the Cleveland Browns, to have a guy like Deion Sanders at practice.
And not just perspective that Monken can get from Deion being his dad, but Deion coached him as well. So, I mean, I think there's some good insight there that Todd Monken can get about what he responds to well, right? From a coaching standpoint, what he struggled with, what he's good at. I mean, Todd Monken's doing this first time as well. Like, he's a new coach trying to figure it out, his coaching style, how he develops these guys in the middle of a quarterback competition. So I think there's a lot of that that's good as well, and it was cool that it was bring your dad to work day.
I think those are the most impressive comments that I've heard from Todd Monken as Browns coach so far. Yeah. Here's why. I don't know under what premise Deion was there. Is he player's dad? Is he one of the greatest athletes to ever live? Or is he college head coach that's visiting an NFL camp? I don't know. All three are part of that. What I do know is it is in Todd Monken's best interest to develop a great relationship with Deion Sanders for the reasons that Jason just brought up. Hey, all of you, he's better at everything you're doing ever in your life than what you are. Go talk to him, okay? But more so, what if bad news has to be delivered? What if Shedeur is not the starting quarterback? Deion Sanders is not just a player's dad, he's a head football coach, which means daily media availability. Inevitably, if his son is the backup, he's going to be asked about it. And if Deion is on board with Todd Monken, it is way more likely than not that he would then say, Coach and I are cool. That's his job. I believe in that guy. My son is going to get better as a result of being with that guy. Next question. Versus, I can't believe they did this to my son. Todd Monken making Deion Sanders his best friend in the world is beneficial to everything Cleveland Browns.
Okay, I tend to agree with you. That makes perfect sense. There's a lot of different buckets for why Deion Sanders could have been there. Yesterday when he was there, though, his son did take first-team reps, as I pointed out. The day before that, Deshaun Watson took first-team reps. This is going to be a conversation until Todd Monken names the starting quarterback who should be QB1 in Cleveland.
Whoever performs best in training camp. I'm not under the notion, and I say that because I'm not under the notion of the thought that it's Shedeur's job because of the situation Deshaun Watson puts in it. I hate when people say, well, Deshaun shouldn't get the chance to start because what if he does start and he performs well? Well, you're not going to pay him, so it's just dumb for the organization to start the guy who performs better in training camp. You look at this, if it's a true competition, and maybe you go in if you're the Cleveland Browns and you're hoping the young guy wins out. But for everybody in the locker room, you're watching this competition as well. And you're looking at it every single day. And 3 weeks from now, you're going to know for sure who the starting quarterback for your team is. And it's not going to be predicated on whose contract is what, who's going to be a free agent, what someone has done in the past. So for Todd Monken, you are looking for longevity in your own job. So whichever one of these two guys performs best, they should be the starting quarterback, regardless of what their contract is or what they've done in the past.
Yeah, I look at this and I just start to wonder if I'm a Browns fan and if I'm part of that organization. What if Shedeur's good? What if I have a fifth-round quarterback that's good and ultimately Watson's off the books? Oh, by the way, you know how many first-rounders I have next year? 2. Yep. Everyone wants a quarterback next year. What if I have one on a fifth-round salary and I'm a non-playoff team and I have a top 10 pick? What can I now get for that pick? It is absolutely in their best interest for Shedeur Sanders to be the guy for the next few years at the cost that he costs. Because what you could do, the Myles Garrett trade is not done yet. It's been made. It's not done. Jared Verse is there, but the picks that you get from the Rams and your own pick, it's not done. The upside of Shedeur being the guy is enormous in Cleveland.
Deshaun Watson should not step on the field this year. Does nothing for, you mentioned the longevity for Todd Monken. The longevity for him is find a quarterback for the long run. It's not going to be Deshaun Watson. And he hasn't played meaningful football since 2020. We're not even really sure that he's that good 100%, let alone after multiple injuries as well. Here's the reality, though, for longevity and for the future of this franchise. You have drafted 3 different quarterbacks in the last 2 years. and you know near nothing about any of them. You have to figure out what you have in Shedeur. You still have to figure out what you have in Dillon Gabriel. There's a lot of people that loved what they saw out of him, and I know he's not technically in that mix. He also drafted Taylor Green, who is an incredibly talented, physically gifted quarterback out of Arkansas. You got to figure out what you have because, to your point, next year comes really fast with 2 draft picks and a lot of quarterbacks in that draft class. What are you going to add another one to the mix? If you played Deshaun Watson, you learn nothing about Shedeur or Dillon or Taylor, and then next year, at the end of the year, you go, well, did we go get one of these quarterbacks? And we got 3 others that we've drafted as well in the last 2 years, and you still know nothing about them. You don't even know if any one of those guys is going to be good. So the only way, and I'll let you go, you clear that up, is play him and figure it out this year and quickly, and then figure out what the next chapter is.
Both guys played a year ago. Dillon Gabriel played. Shedeur Sanders.
But do we know?
Well, no, you don't. But all I
good
can
or
do
bad, we don't know.
All I can do is put you out on the field. You show me, and if you haven't shown me enough, and not only last year did they play, they've all been playing all spring. So to you guys,
So then they should get rid of him. They should play Deshaun and get rid of those two guys.
No. To you guys' point, they should want Shedeur to have the job.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys competed in spring. If Shedeur was better than Deshaun Watson, why not just go into training camp and say Shedeur's our guy? You want it to happen anyway. The problem is if Deshaun Watson is outperforming any of those guys in practice every single day, you can't just walk into training camp and name him the starter. So I don't disagree with you guys that it should be Shedeur. But if he is going to be your franchise quarterback and you can use those draft picks for something else, and if Deshaun Watson hasn't played meaningful football since 2020, well then hell, this should be easy. By the first preseason game, Shedeur will have proven that he's the guy, and there is no argument to be had. But I want to see it on the field, not just because it makes sense because we have 2 first-round draft picks.
All right, as a reminder, last season was the 4th time in 5 seasons that the Cleveland Browns started at least 3 different starting quarterbacks. This is a situation this franchise is comfortable with, and it's not ideal. They've got to figure it out, though. Still to come here on First Take, high expectations in the NFC East. Offense sells tickets, but which team will be better? The Eagles